All right, so this is a new format. Today we will start a new series called 8 before 8 by a country. This time it will be Germany. 8 before 8 is a format where I found 8 most interesting, in my personal opinion, entrepreneurs who achieved 8 figures before being 40 in each particular country and tell their stories and tell lessons we can learn from their stories. And today, our hero is Hanno Renner from the company Personio. This would be a story about a guy who, at 24 years old, was a skipper on the Yacht and still built a 6 billion HR tech empire by the age of 40. Let's go. A short commercial block here. If you are knowledge-based business in Germany and you're already established, you're doing more than 200,000 in revenue per year, and you are interested in leveraging it and expanding on US market, Creator Economy Agency is launching a pilot program to launch your business on pay-per-result model in the US. So if you're interested, click on the link under this episode. I'm Bogdan. I'm on a journey to hit 8 figures before being 40. On this pod, I'm learning from entrepreneurs who have done it and inviting you along for the ride. Enjoy. All right, so let's begin. So lesson number 1, I named Organize like a navy, but move like a pirate. This would be a story about how Hanno Renner built the company, the ship he planned to go into the sea in itself from the very beginning. And while if you had an experience building a company, how usually you go with it, you have an idea and you go with it. You try to get your first feedback, your first understanding, your first sales, your first clients, and then you build on that, and then you build on that, and then you build on that, and then you find yourself at some moment when you have 20 people in team and you think about, hey, we should have a mission. You already built something, and then you're looking for a mission, you're looking for a vision, you're looking for all these things which you already kind of have to have. Logically, you have to have them, but you don't. Because you never thought about it, you thought about it as something abstract, something you will build at some point, big company has at some point. Hanno was building it absolutely vice versa. He designed the company before it ever even took off. So check it out. Here's what he wrote down as a blueprint. He said, every team should have a mission, not just a title, a mission. You cannot have an IT department. You have to have a department which is, developing the software or having some bigger even mission or vision. Second of all, every person should have a clear role before you build a team. You understand which people should be in the team, which teams you should have, and which people should be in the teams, which role, and not vague role like manager, sales manager, but exactly what function should be, what outcome should be delivered by this person. And the third thing, every process should be scalable. So scalable by default. You should think about it as this role, this position, this process should never be the bottleneck of the business by design, by default. This is why, of course, you have to invest a lot of time preparing it, strategizing it, trying to put it into some concept. But afterwards, when he hit the product market fit, everything grew like a rocket. He grew from 0 to 10 to 100 to 500 people. And that ran so smoothly only because he had it in the very, very beginning. And here's how I understood it, and here's what I've written for myself as a lesson. If you wait until you have a scaling problem to fix it, you have already lost. Meaning you have to build a system, and you as a manager, as an entrepreneur, as a founder, your role is to build a system or to build the idea, to build a company in the way that it would be ready to scale at any moment. And any moment that shouldn't be, the constraint shouldn't be in design which you created while building this company. So this is lesson number 1 I got from him, from his philosophy, from Personio's philosophy, how to build a company and how to structure it. All right, now lesson number 2, which I wrote down as culture isn't just a vibe, it's a system. And here's the thing, when you think about the culture as an entrepreneur in any organization, you're not thinking about something that randomly come up in your organization and being randomly good. It's not how it works. Culture is something, and this is how Personio is doing it. This is a quote. If you could define the company's values clearly enough, they would become a filter, hiring the right people, keeping the right mindset, and eliminating distractions before they became problems. They created this system where they really trust their team leads. For example, if you have a team doing some function of the company, the team lead has enough rights to figure out how people work, where people work, at home, not at home, what would be the schedule, everything else, unless the results are bad. So the team is measured by results, not by the process, which is simple enough and cool enough. But on the other hand, they had this idea, which they called in the company Personio, they called it Personio Flex, which is a hybrid work model. And check it out. First of all, they said you have to balance 50% office time, 50% remote time. That's one. Second of all, he let the employees work from anywhere in their home country. You can move to another city, you can move between cities, and that's absolutely fine. And three, because they are in Europe, they allow 90% remote work days per year across Europe, which is flexibility by design. I believe it helps to attract really special talents, people who are valuing in freedom, usually people who are more productive and goal-oriented and more conscious with their lives, but also with how they want to, where they want to be and where they want to kind of put their talent in which idea, in which concept. And this flexibility, this freedom was exactly the competitive advantage of Personio, how they got the best people. And combining that with this freedom and responsibilities within the teams, this is what created a great culture. If you just read reviews about working at Personio, how people write and feedback about it, it's very strong. It's one of the, to be honest, strongest companies from the HR perspective I ever read and found, at least in Germany. So how I understood it and lessons I'm taking for myself, culture is not a free snacks, it's not slogan on your walls, it is the way your company actually functions when nobody's watching. Meaning, what ideas and what mindset do you implement as a core value? What freedoms do you give to the people is a part of the filter with which you are attracting the best talents. As a result, while having the best talents is connected to the best possible product you built and to the success of your company, it is a part of the system which Hanno Renner implemented in Personio. This leads me to lesson number 3, play the long game, but plan it like a heist. A lot of companies, especially startups, plan in quarters, in 3 months period of time. One goal for the next quarter would be like 20% growth, 25% growth, 50% growth, whatever you have. Personio was doing it differently. They had a 10-year goal, and then they were decomposing it back. A lot of you know this concept of BHAG, big, hairy, audacious goal. Something you are looking for in 10 years, the most ambitious thing you can imagine your company will become in 10 years. And why it's helpful, this is exactly how Personio implemented it, because while having this goal, you can decompose what you need to do in 5 years to achieve the 10-year goal, in 3 years, and then in 1 year, and then in next quarter, not only for yourself and the company, but in general for every and each of the departments. On the other hand, you can clearly understand why you are raising money, how much money you need, and when do you need it. Does it mean that you will not change this? The goal will not change, the journey will not change, or your expectations in reality will be different? No, it just means that you have enough understanding where you're moving and where you all as a team, as a company, and each of the people, each of the team members are moving and how they can contribute. If your business plan is just about growing fast and figure it out later, you're already setting yourself for kind of the disaster. The real move is to define the long game first, then reverse engineer every step to get there. This is how you build the companies, and this is how you build the organization that lasts and attract the best possible talents. So this is what we learned today from Hanno Renner. First, design your company for scale before you need it. Second, culture isn't a mood, it's a structure. Third, the long game isn't just a dream, it is a plan. He built an HR software empire. He built a system, and he had this amazing story and amazing insights which we can learn. We will continue getting into 8 after 8 in Germany in the next episode. See you next time.